Ooh, how come I didn't hear that? My mic on? I didn't hear that joint. Let's see. Okay, now I can hear stuff. Okay. All right, let's do it. Everybody, what's up? Thank y'all for coming. Once again, back is the incredible rhyme animal, the uncannibal, the public enemy, number one. 5 said freeze. You know the deal. Yeah. Business credit builder. All right. Check it out. Today is the free money edition. We're gonna show you how to build business credit, and I'm gonna show you how my client gets free money. All right. In this training, I explain how I learned about business credit. I learned how my client is getting free money using business credit. For real. During this training, you'll discover how to build credit that's linked to your EIN and not your social, that requires no personal guarantee or credit check, and how to get business funding and credit lines even if you have personal credit issues or no collateral or just starting your business. Okay, let's get it. I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna get going. You can follow along. Okay. Share. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Noel A. Booker Sr. All right. All right. Now I'm set up, ready to go. Okay. Here we go. You should be able to see my screen a little bit. Let me see if I can hook this up a little bit more. Right. This is the free money edition, right? Where I show you how my client gets. This is how I learn how that business credit is real and how my client was getting free money. Okay. That's why I call this the free money edition. And usually this takes me about an hour and a half to do, but this is going to be the quick version. All right. So I'm going to do it as fast as I can so we can just get out of here. Right. All right. So this is the deal. My website is Business Credit Builder, and I'm going to go fast. Now, you can take screenshots when you need to, right? You can type in questions in the chat, right? The website is businesscreditbuilder.us. That's the website. You can get a free guide. Just go to the website, get a free guide. Businesscreditbuilder.us. Get your free guide. If you want to have a consult, a free business credit consultation, go to businesscreditbuilder.us/consult. Consult. Now, if you think you qualify for funding now, then you will go to businesscreditbuilder.us/get funding. All right. All right. What we will cover today: how you can get business credit linked, how you can get business credit within 7 days or less that's linked to your EIN, not your social, even if you are a startup or have bad personal credit now. Then immediately start using it to get credit you want and need, even from major sources like Target, Walmart, Staples, Lowe's, Visa, MasterCard, and more. How you can access loans, credit lines, even as a startup, have credit challenges or lack collateral. All right. Now, most don't know. Most people fail trying to get money and grow their business. Most don't know that EIN credit can be built regardless of personal credit quality. Many apply for credit in the wrong order. Many entrepreneurs don't know that money is available based on business strengths. Money is available based on business strengths. what I call the 3 C's of funding: credit, collateral, cash flow. Credit, collateral, cash flow. Now, if you got all of these three, credit, cash flow, and collateral, then you could possibly qualify for an SBA loan. If you got 2 of these C's, then you could possibly qualify for a term loan. If you got 1 of these 3 C's, depending on which one that you do have, then you could possibly qualify. I mean, you will qualify. If you got 1 of these 3 C's, you can qualify right now for funding, depending on which one you got. All right. And I'm going to tell you more about that. Now, if you have none of these 3 C's, then that's when you start with business credit. Okay. And as you build business credit, you get access to more and more money. Now, I'm going to let you know real quick that if your business is in existence and you're operating, if you set up your business correctly, your business should automatically have business credit. So you got to set up right so you can automatically have business credit. I'm going to show you how to do that. All right. All right. Let's get down. What is business credit? Business credit is credit that is obtained in a business name. With business credit, the business builds its own credit profile and credit score for its EIN number. This credit is in the business name and based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner's ability to pay. The business can qualify for revolving store credit cards like Staples, Lowe's, Sam's Club, Costco, and more. All right? Why business credit is awesome. Well, business credit has no effect on your personal credit. No personal guarantee is needed to build business credit. Business credit building is fast. With business credit, you can offset current expenses, increase approval amounts with better rates and terms when you have business credit, and no collateral, cash flow, or good credit is needed to build business credit. All right. So you can be starting from scratch, from zilch. And once you got business credit, you have access to loans and credit lines. All right. Every successful business in America has business credit. All right. Now, check this out. I'm going to skip over these because this is the quick version. Right? But check this out right here. This is what anybody can see for free. You just go to the Experian website and there's a place to put your business name and address in, or any business name and address. See, business information is public, right? So you can put any business name and address in and you can get this type of information. Now, this is for Walmart Stores Incorporated. They're in Bentonville, Arkansas. And they have, the part that I want to bring to your attention is the number of trade lines, right? Trade lines. They got 513 trade lines, all right? So this is what a trade line is, real quick, just so we're on the same page. A trade line is when you go to a company. I see you got a chat in there. Let me finish up what a trade line is, then I'm gonna go to that chat, right? So a trade line is when you get an account from a business, right? And now you can buy on credit, right? You can buy on credit. So when you buy something on credit, that means you got the item and they give you an invoice to tell you when to pay and all them details, right? So when you pay it, this is what happens. That company sends a report when you pay it. That company sends a report to the business credit reporting agencies. The report says, hey, XYZ company, they got an account with us. Their limit is X amount of dollars, and they made a purchase, and they paid it off in X amount of days. And they send that report to the business credit reporting agencies. And that company puts that report on your business credit profile. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is one trade line. That's the basis for building business credit. Trade lines. You see that? And Walmart is the king of business credit. Okay? How we can help our business credit builder. We show you how to make your business credible in the eyes of the lender. Our high-tech software helps you build your business credit to access high-limit store credit, business loans, and credit lines. We work with all legitimate types of funding programs that are available today, offering funding through hundreds of investors and lenders through a multitude of different funding programs. Okay? So we're like a broker of lenders. We got hundreds of lenders already. Okay? Most people that come to me, they can't qualify. So my job is to help you qualify. We already know what they need for you to get approved for whatever type of loan you need for your business. All right? We already know what you need. So when you work with me, I'm helping you get qualified to get to your goal. Okay? And if you qualify already, I'll get you to the right lender with the lowest rates and terms. Okay? Okay, let's do it. How do you build business credit? We're going to start right now. Now, one thing I wanted to say before I start is building business credit is a step-by-step process. Each step is needed for the next step. So there's no skipping steps, right? Okay. All right, let me see what you said in the chat. Oh, you ain't got no kids yet. Okay, boom. Oh, you used to DJ. Word. Word is born. My name is DJ Nab. Word. All right. Fire. No doubt. Okay. Yeah, that's a 513 trade lines is a bunch, right? So that's why they're the king. And that's how Walmart makes their money using business credit. They get the part that I didn't tell you about that is what they do is they go to Bounty, right? They say, "Yo, Bounty, let me get a truckload of toilet paper." Now the owner don't pay for that toilet paper right then, right? He don't contact the accounting department and say cut a check. The truckload of toilet paper comes to the store. They put the truckload of toilet paper on the shelves. We go in there and buy it. They take our money and pay the bill. And then they say, "Hey, you did that good. Here's 5 truckloads of toilet paper. Now just keep flipping that." You know the routine. Just keep flipping it. All right, let's go. Step 1. All right, this is step 1, credibility and fundability. Now I'm going to let you know that this step 1 is the simplest. It's the easiest. And it's the most important to get into that money. This is the most important step. It's the easiest and the simplest, right? All right. So the perception lenders, vendors, and creditors have of your business is critical to your ability to build strong business credit. Before applying for business credit, a business must ensure it meets or exceeds all lender credibility standards. There are over 20 credibility points that are necessary for a business to have a strong, credible foundation. Okay, so we're going to start with the business name, right? So you got to register your business with the Secretary of State. Every state, it costs different, right? I'm in Georgia, it costs $100. New York, I think it costs about 175 or something like that. But every state is different what it costs to register your business name. You go to the Secretary of State. When you go to the Secretary of State, and register your business name, they're going to ask you to select an entity. What you need to know is that any entity, you can build business credit. But in order to separate your business liability from your personal liability, you need to choose an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, or a corporation. If you select a partnership or a proprietorship, then you are personally liable for anything that happens with this business. Okay? Word. Okay. That's what that is right there. Entities. That's what I already told you. Boom. All right. So this is like the fast. This is the fast joint. Right? We're gonna run through this. Okay. EIN number. I'm not gonna tell you much about the EIN number, but the two things you need to know is you can't build business credit without an EIN number, and the EIN number is free. So don't come to me later and say I didn't pay $50 to get an EIN number. It's free. All right. You go to irs.gov. It takes you 15 minutes. You need your ID. Okay. All right. Now, this is the rundown right here on selecting your business address. There are 3 options when selecting your business address. There are no options other than these 3. Okay. The first one is to have a brick and mortar, right? A storefront. But a lot of startup businesses can't do the storefronts, right? So boom, that's cool. That's cool. You definitely need a place where you can accept packages. Okay. The second option is to have a virtual office address. Now, there's a whole bunch of companies out there that do virtual office addresses. But what you need to know is that in the virtual office space, there are hundreds of companies out there, and a lot of them will give you the same address as they already gave hundreds of businesses, right? You don't want that. You want a unique address for your business, all right? And I'm gonna tell you the deal on that in a minute. Now, the third option is to have, and it's the last resort, is to have your home address. But a lot of my clients, they use the virtual office because they don't want to share with the world their home address. Okay, because they got kids at the crib or whatever, they want some kind of privacy, right? Because with a business, your information is public, right? So a lot of my clients, they get the virtual office address. But for people that's low on the Skrilla, then they use the home address, right? So you definitely need a deliverable physical address. You cannot use a P.O. box. You cannot use a UPS address, okay? Some lenders will not approve and fund unless this criteria is met. Boom. Okay, you did the virtual. All right, that's word. Or you got a registered agent. Okay, the thing to check with that registered agent is to see what address they put on your Secretary of State. Because sometimes the registered agent will put as your main address their address. You don't want that. All right. I've had clients that had a registered agent do it, and then they put the registered agent address, and you can't go there and pick up packages. Okay, so that's what you need to look out for. Okay. So the virtual address. This is the one I use, DaVinci Virtual Office Solutions. All right. Now I use them because they give you a unique address. Okay. So they send a form to the post office to create you a unique address. Okay. You can go to this website, businesscreditbuilder.us/vendors. You'll see that DaVinci logo. You'll see a telephone number, a name of a person to contact, and there's specific verbiage so you can get the right product from them. All right. That's businesscreditbuilder.us/ vendors. All right, check out that Da Vinci. Now, the telephones. The telephone is crucial. All right, you must have a dedicated business phone number that's listed with the 411 directory assistance under the business name. Okay, it needs to be a local number that's listed with the national 411 directory. Don't skip this piece. I mean, don't skip none of the pieces I'm telling you, but this one, you definitely don't skip this one, okay? Lenders, vendors, creditors, and even insurance providers will verify that your business is listed with 411. A toll-free number will give your business credibility, but you must have a local business number, all right, with the 411 directory, okay? Right, that's what I had to make sure of as well. It definitely happens. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna skip over some of these pages because I'm telling you, we just doing the quick rundown, right? But I'm gonna tell you what you need to know. See, and one thing about me is I'm gonna tell you all the steps you need to know. Most people that do this, they just tell you just enough so you can buy their product, right? But I'm gonna tell you every single step that you need to know. Now, and you can do this shit without me. You can do it without me, right? But I'm gonna tell you that there are speed bumps along the way that slow you down. Now, you probably will be able to figure out how to get over those speed bumps. But when you hire a company like me, Business Credit Builder, we smooth over those speed bumps. All right. That's the benefit of hiring a consultant like me. Like like a coach. I'm gonna coach you along the way. It's always good to have a coach along the way to get you through this stuff, right? What's up? Rodriguez, what up? All right. Okay. Okay. So this is the free money edition. Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you about this free money at the end, right? But I'm gonna tell you a little bit more. I'm gonna tell you the beginning in a minute. Okay. For that, remember I told you about that local telephone number, right? All right. These are the companies that'll hook you up. Freedom Voice. And for the phone number, you cannot use a cell phone number or a landline number. Definitely. It's hard to hear me. What, I got background noise or what? Okay. So,
Nobody can call her, but she's over there with your fucking
Freedom
family.
Voice.
Yeah. Stupid ass
Let me make
bitch.
sure my mic is turned up.
Oh my God. Maybe she's not
Yeah,
around.
my mic is up.
Maybe a lot of other people call it.
Oh, someone else's mic's on. Okay, now their mic is off, right? Okay, cool. Okay, boom. Okay, so the telephone, Freedom Voice, Ring Central, Vonage, those three are really good to use. But the one I use is Freedom Voice, because Freedom Voice will give you a local number for $9.95 a month, and they will list it with the National 411 directory for $3 a month, right? And then they'll give you a fax number and an 800 number for under $20 a month. Ring Central and Vonage, they're going to start you at $25 a month. All right. So I did some research for you. Make sure you got the right spot. Boom. Right. You can go to businesscreditbuilder.us/vendors and you get that telephone number for Freedom Voice. All right. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Freedom Voice. Okay. So boom. Website. Okay, I'm going to just give you the quick rundown. You need a website for your business, okay? Nowadays, they will check when you apply for a loan or an application for an account, they will check your website. They're going to go to Google and they're going to put your business name in. You want them to find your website, all right? And when they do find your website, they're going to skip over that nice, pretty homepage. They're going to go straight to the contact page. And then they're going to look to see if your name, address, and telephone number is the same that you put on the application. That's when they're trying to catch you slipping. That's when they try to catch you slipping right there, okay? Because they want all this information to line up exactly right. All right? All right. Boom. So now my company, MediaNet USA, we have the small business web hosting package. It's all inclusive, which means I do everything. You don't have to do jack. All right? You get domain registration, 12 months web hosting. I'll design the website. I'll give you monthly updates to the website, unlimited emails, expert customer support, internet consultation. Just schedule a free business credit consultation and I'll hook you up. All right. Just go to businesscreditbuilder.us/consult. And these packages start at $350 for the whole year, and then they renew at they renew at $150 every year after that. Okay. Okay. Boom. Email. I'm not even going to talk about the email, but I'm going to tell you what you need to know. Don't use a free email service like Gmail or Yahoo. Your email needs to be your name at yourbusinessname.com or whatever it is, right? This is simple. This is simple, common sense stuff, but it's good to understand how they are thinking, right? Because they don't want to see you do business from a free email service. You could be anybody, right? This is free. This is common sense stuff right here, right? Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about the email. Fax number. I already talked about the fax number, but lenders perceive a credible business as one with the fax number and an 800 number. So this is how it runs down. When they on the application and there's a place to put your business telephone number, they're definitely going to do this. They're definitely going to check to see if that local number is listed, right? And then they say check, boom. Now they're going to see that you got a fax number and an 800 number. Now you're looking like you're more credible, okay? Because you got to make your business look like you're a credible business. Now you don't have to actually be a credible business. You just have to look like you're credible, okay? Okay. All right. Okay, so boom. Once you got your certificate from the Secretary of State and you got your EIN number, which they give you right away for free, then that's when you run to the bank. Don't walk. You run to the bank at this point and start yourself a business bank account. Okay? All right. Licensing. One of the most common mistakes when building credit for your business is non-matching business addresses on your business licenses. That'll give you a red flag immediately. All right? So any place where your business is listed, it has to have the same exact information. All right? All right. Now, if you're an existing business, what I would do is go on Google and do a search for my business. And when stuff comes up with old addresses, old telephone numbers, you don't want that. You want everything to line up, right? So this company called Yex, they have a service called data cleansing. Data cleansing, and that'll clear all that up. But that's for existing businesses that got stuff that they can't, old information on the internet. You don't want them to find that stuff, okay? All right. Now, that concludes setting up your business properly. So, what we did so far was set up your business credible in the eyes of the lender. Name, address, telephone number, website, all that stuff, right? Anybody got any questions on this stuff so far? The next step is to understand these business credit reports, okay? Okay. Any questions? Boom. No questions? All right, let's move forward then. Okay. All right. So, business credit reports. Business credit reports are offered by Experian, Dun& Bradstreet, and Equifax. You will first want to get a copy of your business credit reports to see what is being reported. Okay? Now, these business credit reporting agencies, they're in the business of compiling information, and then they repackage the information and they sell it. What we need is them to put together a business credit report for us from all the information they gather. And they charge about $100 per month to do that. Okay? All right. So they charge about $100. Each one of these companies, Equifax, Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, right? That's what they do. All right? Now, you need them business credit reports. So now at Dun & Bradstreet, this is the biggest one. This is the most important. Obtaining a Dun & Bradstreet number, they call it a DUNS number, begins the process of building your business credit profile. Your DUNS number will also play an important role in enabling your business to borrow without a personal guarantor. Okay? Okay. Experian has business credit. Hold on 1 second. D&B has the self-monitoring, right, which is $39 to $99 per month. And you need this. You don't have to pay every month, but when you work with me, I'll tell you how to strategize so you're just not paying for it when you don't need it, all right? Okay. Experian, they got what they call the small business reports. They go from $49 to $99 a month, okay? You can find out how many trade lines are reporting, see if you have business credit score assigned, see if you have an active Experian business profile, and check on recent inquiries. Equifax, they have what they call the Equifax Small Business Credit Report. That's $99 a month for a full report, okay? All right. So that's the business credit reporting agencies. You need to know about them, all right? And with my company, when you sign up with me and I'm helping you out, I'm gonna teach you how to read them credit reports because they're not easy to read, okay? They leave out a bunch of information. So now, step number 3, remember what I said. Each step is needed for the next step. This is step number 3. This step is not easy, okay? Because now we got to find vendors that's going to give you credit when you have no credit, and they have to report to the business credit reporting agencies. Not that many companies is going to give you credit when you got no credit, and only 10% of all businesses report to the business credit reporting agencies because they're under high guidelines and restrictions to even be able to report, okay? So what we're going to do is find these companies that's going to give us a net 30 account. And when they give you a net 30 account, they'll give you a little bit of credit. And when you buy something on credit, you need to pay the total balance in 30 days. Hence the term net 30. A business credit report can be started much the same as a consumer report commonly is with small amounts of credit. The business can be approved for small credit amounts to help them build an initial credit profile. These types of initial accounts in the business world are commonly referred to as vendor credit or net 30 accounts. All right? You still with me? And some vendors will approve your company for net 30 payment terms upon verification of as little as an EIN number and a 411 listing. All right, you still with me? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about right now. I'm gonna stop and tell you about this free money deal, right? The beginning of this is the beginning story of the free money, right? So years ago, I got, I do accounting, right? So I'm doing accounting for a client. This client is a freight company, right? Now, I'm going into the office to do accounting. And he asked me to do some websites because I do the websites, right? So I noticed that every time I did a website for his companies or his clients, $250,000 hit the bank. So one day I said, yo, I need to make some money. Can you find something for me to do? And he told me to do this. He said, yo, find a company and we'll do a deal with that company and you can make money off of that deal. So my boy Philly Phil, he was the DJ too. My boy Philly Phil, he was sitting on this company. He wasn't doing nothing with the company, right? He said, okay, let's try it with this. 6 months later, we walked into Chrysler, came out of there with 4 brand new Sprinter vans and did not have to use his EIN, his social, only used his EIN number. 4 brand new Sprinter vans, nigga. You know what I mean? That's how I found out that this business credit shit works. It really do work. You got to set up your business right. So that's what we was doing. We set up the business right, right? All right, I'm gonna continue the story at the end to tell you how the real money gets down, all right? All right, let's move forward. We are on vendor accounts, right? We're on these net 30s right now, right? So bust it. Here are some vendors who will approve you for initial credit even if you have none now, all right? Granger, JJ Gold, the CEO Creative. These all got net 30 accounts, right? Maverick Office Supplies, Pilot Flying J, Uline, all right? You can go to businesscreditbuilder.us/vendors, and there's links for Maverick, and there's links for JJ Gold. There's a link for the CEO Creative. The other ones, just go find those. Granger, Pilot Flying J. Well, the Pilot Flying J is really if you're a trucking company, right? Because they want to make sure that you got the DOT numbers and all that stuff, right? That's a new deal with them. Okay, so these are the ones. You start with Maverick Office Supplies because that's the easiest. JJ Gold, the CEO Creative, Granger, Pilot Flying J, Uline, boom. All right. Always apply with these starter vendors without using your social. Do not put your social. Put your EIN, right? Put your EIN number in there. The social part, leave that blank. All right? Now, if you got an application that's asking for your social and there's no place to put your EIN number, you got the wrong application. You need the business application. You got to give them your EIN number for this and do not give them your social, all right? You give them your social, now they didn't attach your social on your shit, all right? Okay, bet. Pay your net 30 vendors accounts in full and on time. You must be patient and allow the vendors reporting cycles to get to the reporting systems, okay? It should take you about 3 months to get these vendors on your credit reports, okay? Now, the goal right now is to get 5 net 30 accounts. You need 5 net 30 accounts, okay? That's why I got this car. You see the car got the number 5. The car got the smoke, right? But check out his face. He's like, yo, I got credit, and now we're rolling. Okay. Yeah. True on that flying J. Okay. So now we're rolling. We got these 5 net 30 accounts. Preferably, this is a bonus. Preferably 3 vendors that report to Dun & Bradstreet, 1 that report to Equifax, and 1 that reports to Experian. The main piece is to have 3 going that report to Dun & Bradstreet. That's the key. All right. Now we're ready to go to step 4. Remember what I said? Each step is needed for the next step. So you can't just skip steps and come to this place right here. This is where you want to be. You want to get these revolving accounts. The revolving accounts is the ones that matter the most. After 5 trade lines are established using vendor accounts, obtaining revolving accounts is the next step. Revolving accounts are cards a business owner can use and not be required to pay the full balance owed each month. This is where you want to be, okay? Most stores will not approve a business owner for business credit unless the owner has an established credit profile and score. Vendor accounts must be used first to establish a profile and a score. Then store credit can be obtained, okay? Boom. Okay. These are revolving accounts. Home Depot, Lowe's, Office Depot, Staples, Best Buy, Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco, Amazon, Dell, Apple, BP, Chevron, Racetrack, and many others. See, some vendors, some businesses, all they need to start operating is credit at some of these type of stores, right? Some might need just a Home Depot and a gas card, right? Some others might need an Office Depot and a Sam's Club, right? Like when I did my popcorn joint, right? I was at Sam's Club buying popcorn. Nigga, I was at Sam's Club, right? Buying the stuff that I needed to operate on credit, going to get the money, and then paying the bill. That's how you set up your business. You set up your business credibly. Then you go and buy the stuff that you need. And then you pay it after you get that money, right? Boom. This is how business is done, all right? So if your business is set up properly, your business has expenses to go get that money. So if the expenses you have, they report to the business credit reporting agencies, now you're building credit automatically with the operation of your business. Boom. All right. Now, store revolving credit must be obtained before the business owner starts getting Visa, MasterCard, American Express. All right. Once 10 accounts are on your credit report, now you can start getting Visa, MasterCard, American Express. Approval amounts will be equivalent to the highest credit limit account on the business report. Try to have 10 accounts with at least one of them having a high $10,000 limit. So when you go and get these revolving accounts, you want to pick one of them and keep using it more often than the other. When they see that you're paying on time, that's when you call them and ask them to increase your limit. And you keep calling them, increase my limit. Make some on-time payments, increase my limit. On-time payments, increase my limit. Boom. All right. It is essential to keep using the credit, keep applying for more, and talk with credit providers to raise credit limits. If you do this, business credit will keep growing until higher limit credit lines are obtained. It takes you about Well, when they ask me, how long does it take to build business credit? I'm telling you, in my system, and you do the steps I tell you, it'll take you about 12 months or shorter, right? If you do this without me, it's definitely going to take you 18 months. If you do this without me, no doubt. Okay? So, step by step, no skipping steps, right? Each step is needed for the next step. No skipping steps, 10 trade lines. High limit, 10,000. Cash credit accounts will match your highest credit limit reported on your credit profile, MasterCard, Visa, American Express. When you get up to 10 or more, you want to keep on going. You want to keep going. Then you can start getting loans and credit lines because now you have a track record that you are totally control of on-time payments. That's what they want to see. They want to see your history of paying stuff on time with having 10 or more trade lines on your credit report with on-time payments. Okay? Now, we're going to go over some alternative funding. When the big banks can't help, we can. All right? So, when you go to a commercial bank, they're definitely going to need you to have all of the 3 C's: credit, cash flow, collateral. They're going to need you to have all of that. But let me tell you, 80% of everybody, of all the businesses that go to a bank, 80% of them get denied because they don't have the 3 C's. Okay? So, in the last 10 years or so, there's been alternative funding options. So these companies that's trying to help all of those people that's been denied, they couldn't get a loan at the bank. There's alternative funding options that's trying to help you get some money, right? I'm gonna run over them real quick, right? Here goes. There's 3 of them, all right? Cash flow financing. I'm just gonna run this off the dome. Cash flow financing is not for everybody. It's for existing businesses that got cash flow. So if your business makes, you've been depositing in your bank $3,000 a month, right? Then you can qualify for some money right now. But this is really for existing businesses that's in a situation, and all businesses get in a situation eventually. This is where they go to get money. You might have to make your payroll this Friday. You might have a piece of equipment. Your blender might have went down. You need to go get a bunch of blenders. You need to get that commercial blender real quick, right? So that's what this is for, right? It's not for everybody. Cash flow financing. Now, my cash flow financing lender is David Allen Capital. You can find that on my website, businesscreditbuilder.us, and then go to business loans. All right. You can get funding straight from your phone. The key to know about this one here is that they got about 5 questions to ask you on your phone. Then when you do that, they're going to ask you how much you make per month. Then when you do that, they're going to send you an email to connect your bank account. Connect your bank account. Then they're going to try to figure out whether or not you can qualify. They're not even going to look at your shit until you connect that bank account. That's what you need to know. Word. Okay. Collateral-based financing. Collateral-based financing can be obtained if you have some type of viable collateral to offset what you are borrowing. All right. Here goes some examples of collateral funding, right? Accounts receivable. Accounts receivable is also known as factoring. Factoring. So my buddy that got the freight company, he financed his business through factoring. These are companies that you can batch and sell your invoices, right? So he had the freight company. He can batch and sell those invoices. Purchase orders. Purchase orders is for companies that have government contracts, right? So if you got a government contract, you need a piece of equipment, and you go to a bank with your government contract, they're not going to do jack, right? But there are alternative funders that will buy the piece of equipment that you need to fulfill this government contract, all right? Stocks, bonds, 401ks. If you have any of these investments, you can get a business loan, all right? Revenue lending, that's similar to cash flow funding, but you need it's like for a dealership. Let's say you got a dealership and you got an inventory of cars. Well, you get a business loan, and when you sell a car, then you pay down on the loan, right? Inventory and equipment. If you have inventory and equipment, you can get a business loan. If you have equity in your home, you can get a business loan. Insurance agents have what they call the book of business, all right? The book of business is their list of clients, and you can get a business loan on that. That's for insurance agents, okay? The next one, and this is the most popular, is what I call the credit line hybrid program. This is for if you have good personal credit. You got to have at least a 685 or better, right? 685 FICO score or better. And this is how it works. They're going to look at your personal credit. They're going to look at your highest revolving credit line. Let's say you got a Home Depot card, and your limit on that card is $30,000. What they're going to do is they're going to match that $30,000 up to 5 times on credit cards. That's going to match that 30,000 up to 150,000. And you'll get this in 3 weeks. So you got to have good personal credit. This is like a credit card stacking. If you do this on your own, you could go to a credit card company and get approved. But then when you go to another credit card company, they're going to see that you just applied to this other card company, and they're not going to approve you. They're going to decline you for sure. So with this credit line hybrid program, we have this systematic process of doing this so that you get approved for up to 5 credit cards and get approved in 3 weeks. There's pros and cons, right? The pros are you get that money for real, and you can use that money to buy stuff. You can even put down payment on a home if you want to. The bad part is they charge you 10% of whatever you get once you get it. So it don't cost you to get down to apply. You get the credit cards, and then they're going to send you an invoice for 10% of whatever they got you. All right? Boom. Other alternative financing is we have companies that do private funding, but you got to have good tax returns. Venture capital and equity financing. That's like the Shark Tank guys. We got people like that. You know about crowdfunding. Even you can even get specialized funding to buy equipment, signs, and vehicle wraps. Okay. Now I'm gonna finish the story about the free money. All right. I'm gonna finish the story about the free money. So the dude, the freight company, right? He got that 250, right? He got that $250,000 every time I did a website for him. When I was doing the websites, I was making his business credible, right? So what I found out he was doing was this. He had 2 different companies. 2 different companies. One company is a freight company. The other company is a truck sales company. So they're selling trucks, right? So When he gets approved for this loan, because he made his business credible in the eyes of the lender and did some other stuff, right? What was happening is this: the freight company will apply for an equipment loan to buy trucks, because there are companies that they just lend to companies that need to buy equipment, right? So he would go get an equipment loan so he could buy trucks, tractor trailers, right? So when the check comes in to go buy these trucks, well, it don't come in. It goes to the company that he's going to buy the trucks from, because you're going to give them the invoices for the trucks. And they're just going to pay, they're going to send a check to the truck sales company, which is him. Okay? So he just deposited that money. Now, he didn't go buy the trucks. When you don't buy the trucks and they approve you like that, then it just turns into a loan. So he didn't go buy the trucks. He just kept the money. And then he didn't even pay the bill. He didn't even pay the monthly payments, because when you're a business, if you default on a loan, they're only coming for the assets of that business. And his name ain't on none of those businesses. Okay? So they're coming after nothing. That's what he was doing. Now, I don't teach you how to do that, right? He's taking advantage of the situation. Okay? That's right. So he's taking advantage of the situation. But I teach you how to build business credit for real, trade line by trade line. All right? That's how I learned about business credit, from this guy taking advantage of using business credit. But I don't teach that. I teach you how to do it for real. For real, for real. What do they call it nowadays? Now they just say FR, right? For real, for real. All right, check this out. This is one of my clients, Christine. She got all these approvals in 6 months. Now, not everybody can do this, though. She's able to do this because her husband is a truck driver. She's a stay-at-home mom. So she's at home all day working on this, right? She got all these approvals within 6 months. Sprint 2,000, Amazon 4,500, Tractor Supply 5,000, Exxon 5,000, Fuel Man Fleet 6,000, BJ 7, BP 8, Lowe's 10, Apple 12.5, Shell 15. Whew, look at this whole list. It's more than $250,000. All right. Look at PNC. That's a credit line, right? So anybody can do this. You can do this. You just got to know the steps, right? You can do it. You just got to know the steps and be patient when it's time to be patient, right? So check it. I got a lot of information on my blog. My blog is off the Reezy. All right? Go to the blog, businesscreditbuilder.us/blog. I got all these social medias. My podcast is on Spotify. It's called Business Credit is Real. Business Credit is Real is the podcast on Spotify. Word up. Now, if you want to talk to me about any of this stuff, schedule a free business credit consultation by going to businesscreditbuilder.us/consult. And right now, I sell 2 different products in regards to building credit and accessing funding. One is the fundability program, right? And I also have a one-on-one consultation. The one-on-one consultation is for 1 year where you're just talking to me. The other one is the whole system. The fundability system is where you get your own control panel. You go into your control panel, and using AI is going to tell you exactly what to do. And you have advisors and financial advisors that you can talk to at any time. Pick up the telephone, be like, yo, man, I'm confused, right? The one-on-one is me and you. And right now, I got a 50% off deal. It's usually $999. Right now, it's only $500, and you can start for only $200, right? For my one-on-one consultation. So you can go to my website, businesscreditbuilder.us, go to the pricing page, and you can see the rundown, right? But that's the move right now, that 50% off of the one-on-one consultation, the Business Credit Builder program. 50% off right now. A limited time only. Only got a few days left for the 50% off. Okay? You can put down $200 and get started right now. All right? So here goes all my info. My telephone number, 404-500-9687. The email, you got, make sure you get that free guide, right? The free guide at the website, businesscreditbuilder.us. Schedule your free business credit consultation. And if you think you qualify now, go to get funding. Okay? Yo, Finn, you got any questions? Any questions? No? What? What's the deal? Yeah. So, did I waste your time? Was this useful or what? Everything good? What? Hold on. What the? I can't see the chat. Show that preview. What the hell? I can't see the chat now. What the hell happened? Fuck. Participants. Chat. Where's the chat? I can't see the damn chat. Shit ain't coming up, yo. Okay, I can't even see the chat, yo. Fuck. Now you saying something else, and I can't see the chat. Maybe it's over here. Let me check over here on this other screen. Nope, I don't see it. Fuck. I can't see the damn chat. That's not good. Okay. Anyway, yo, I can't see the chat. I can't see what you're saying. Damn. Hold on, let me see. Let me try something else. Damn, I can't see it. Damn, I can't see the damn chat, yo. All right. All right. Damn. Oh, here it is. Meeting chat. Okay, boom. Okay, no questions. I'm definitely following up. Very informative. Word up. Yeah, that's what you need to hear, right? Right. So I hope you appreciate that. That I ain't just running game. I'm putting you up on game. Oh, that's a good one. I ain't running game. I'm putting you up on game, nigga. What? All right. All right. I'm gonna have to remember that. Okay. I'm also in the email, business website and stuff. You operate in Georgia too. Word up. Or word up. You be down here. Okay, that's a bet. No doubt. All right. So yo, Finn. I keep saying Finn because I can't pronounce your first name. All right. Yo, Finn, I'll check you, man. All right. I'm gonna see you in the email or something, right? Word. Call me or something. No doubt. Janae, all right. Janae, all right. That makes sense. That's a bet. One. Peace and love. All right. We out. Check out the YouTube channel. The YouTube got crazy shit. Just go to the website, click that YouTube button. Boom. And when you get to the YouTube, make sure you follow, subscribe, put a comment in there. Let me know that you there. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do it. All right. Have a good night, yo. Peace. We out. Like shout. One. I'm still sharing. I'm supposed to stop the share. Okay. Later, man. Peace. Are we getting out of here? Oh, I'm sharing. Stop this. Oh, stop the share. Okay. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. We out of here. Peace.